Hello, my name is the legendary Zoltan, and I am here today to help you RPG fans discover some new music that might be just the medicine you've been looking for. These are 10 heavy metal songs that will take you to another world. Most musicians sing about real life, or they sing about the stupidest things you could possibly imagine, like the melanin. But these songs are more like fantasy stories. They contain lyrics about all your favorite RPG tropes: orcs, dwarves, sorcerers, vampires, bards, oracles, kings, princesses, dragons, and gods. All of them are here. A few of these bands are pretty famous to people who already listen to a lot of metal, but some of them are pretty obscure. Most of these bands are pretty old. If you know some good fantasy heavy metal songs not on this list, I would love to hear your recommendations in the comments section. Here we go, number 11. Before getting to the top 10 proper, I'd like to let you know that I have an entire album of Valkyrie Profile death metal songs on this very channel. The lyrics are all about characters in Valkyrie Profile 1. If you're familiar with a lot of JRPG music, you might catch some references to other JRPG pieces. My personal favorite song on the album is Hero of Krell Montferrain. It's about the character Jael, who dresses up as a man so she can join the knights and exact revenge on a sorcerer that killed her parents. The first part of the guitar solo is straight out of Backborn's story from Final Fantasy Tactics. Check it out. Number 10, Gold Star's Rage. This is a song by Italian power metal band Dardian. For those who don't know, power metal is heavy metal music where you sing about how triumphant everything is and how metal is the faith you follow. This band has a classical sound that includes a keyboard. This song is from Dardian's second album, The New Era Part 2, War of the Gods. It came out in 2007. I don't know how they have evolved since, but this song is an excellent showing of what's great about Dardian during this era. It starts with keyboard strings for the main melody. Then the backing vocalist comes in solo, sounding like some kind of Viking dude. I will cross the mountain, I will cross the river of tears. And then the high tenor main vocalist comes in, and he's on a revenge mission because he has seen his princess die. Frozen tears are falling from his eyes. His soul will burn fire onto this land. Here's the beginning of the song. Number 9, Diggy Diggy Hole. This song is also by an Italian metal band. They're called Wind Rose. The subgenre is folk metal. Folk metal is heavy metal that often has a violin or bagpipes or some other non-metal band instrument playing melodies that sound like they belong in Irish folk music. But let's just call them dwarf metal, because that's what their costumes are. That's what they sing about in this song, and this is their most famous song. It came out in 2019 on their fourth album, Winter Saga. This is actually a cover song. It was originally written by the YouTube channel Yogscast. The video is actually a big part of what makes this song good. Their dwarf costumes are of very high quality. The song is extremely catchy and easy to sing along to, and it has a bit of a comedy aspect, as you might expect from a title like Diggy Diggy Hole. Check it out. Number 8, The Dragon Lies Bleeding. We have yet another power metal band here. This time from Sweden. The band's name is Hammerfall. This song came out in 1997 as the very first song on Hammerfall's very first album, Glory to the Brave. I used to own the physical disc. The cover art has a dude that you could totally make as an Elden Ring build, and he's standing in a place that could totally pass as Kaled. This is another high-pitched melodic vocal song. The first line is simply, "We ride!" You can't really go wrong opening a power metal song like that. There isn't much in the way of guitar solos here. The main appeal to me is the guitar riffs that play during the verses. They don't stand out, so they don't take away any impact from the vocals, but they are somehow busy enough to be a great representation of the battle that the vocalist is describing. And of course, you can look forward to lines like, "The castle of Eden lies silent above," and "I look through the eyes of the world," and "When the dragon lies bleeding." Here's a sample. Number 7, Destroy the Orcs. This is from 3 Inches of Blood, a Canadian metal band. It came out in 2002 on their first album, Battle Cry Under a Winter Sun. We've got an even higher pitch than any of the previous bands, and they have a backup vocalist that screams high pitches added in. This song is so freaking immersive. The song is about a guy whose family was slaughtered by orcs, and he hunts them down and kills them for revenge. The opening lyrics are screamed, "Kill the orcs, slay the orcs, destroy the orcs!" I swear to you, it sounds just like a young boy and the villagers he's assembled doing a war cry to increase morale while on horseback as they charge an orc encampment. It sounds like that being reenacted by 2 goblins. The vocalists sound like actual goblins. Goblins that formed a metal band to sing the tale of the time when they saw humans take revenge on a camp of orcs. The guitars do a good job making it dramatic too. When they say, "Spill the blood!" the guitar riff that takes you to the end of the song sounds a lot more serious and sadder than before. Check out Destroy the Orcs. Number 6, Emerald Sword. This is by the most famous Italian metal band, Rhapsody of Fire. Back when this song came out in 1998, the band was simply called Rhapsody. Emerald Sword was on their second album, Symphony of Enchanted Lands, and it is their most famous song. This is the early days of a symphonic metal band that would eventually become big enough to have a full-size orchestra and chorus recorded in a church with a massive pipe organ, and hire Christopher Lee, the actor who played Saruman in the Lord of the Rings movies, as the narrator. That's right, they have a narrator. Rhapsody, just like Dardian, sings stories that take place in an original fantasy world created by the leader of the band. In this case, that is guitarist Luca Turilli. In this song, the orchestra is quite small, but it is used to great effect, especially when you consider that this is a heavy metal song. You don't need a full orchestra for metal. The beginning of this song has a lot of variety because different instruments play the lead melody one after another. First, it's the guitars playing, then the chorus comes in over the rhythm guitar riff, ha 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 ha. Then there's a quick violin solo, and then the vocalist comes in with the first verse. Check it out. Number 5, A Gothic Romance. It's by the British black metal band Cradle of Filth. I don't really know how to describe black metal. It sounds like it's supposed to be evil, but it's not death metal, I guess. Cradle of Filth has some symphonic action going on, but it's used for scary horror music. The vocalist sounds like a small demon with his high-pitched screams. By the way, the vocalist's name is Danny Filth. Perfect. A Gothic Romance is from 1996. It was on their second album, Dusk and Her Embrace. There is a remake of this entire album that came out in 2016. It's called Dusk and Her Embrace, The Original Sin. The sound quality is much better, I suppose, but I couldn't really tell while playing it through my cell phone's tiny-ass speaker. To be honest, I find the lo-fi sound quality of the original recording to add to the immersion. It sounds like it's a real recorded testimony of Elizabeth Bathory from the year 1599. Elizabeth Bathory being a popular topic among many a Cradle of Filth song. This particular song is about a guy who falls in love with a woman who is a vampire. I think. It's sung from the point of view of the guy. The moment this song works the most on me is when it talks about how he scoured the area hoping to see her again. Then it starts raining, so he takes cover in a cemetery and falls asleep there. In his dreams, he gets visited by dead spirits or something and realizes who she is. When he wakes up, he's sapped of strength from the demonic dreams and from fighting his lust to see her again, leaving little strength to seal her wretched tomb. There is a specific aspect of Cradle of Filth that is more impressive than any other band I have ever heard. The vocalist, Danny Filth, has the screechiest voice you have ever heard, but his poetry is on a whole new level. You'll have to research a bunch of legends and mythology being referenced. And then even if you understand all of the vocabulary, you'll still have to sit and think about what he means. Here are some lines from various songs on this album. Quote, "On a thin precipice over carnal abyss, I dance like a blind acolyte." Here's another one. Quote, "This wintry eve when the snow glistens deep and sharpened turrets wed the jewelless sky, I shrug off the shroud of preternatural sleep, embroidered," is this supposed to be embroidered? "Embroidered by these words, Malaragia scribed." One more. "Storm choirs gather, a pestilential hiss. Sunset evokes Luciferian fire. The skies are ruptured like a knifed orifice." That one actually wasn't that hard, but it sounds freaking cool. This guy certainly has a way with words. So if you want to get into Cradle of Filth, definitely sit down with the lyrics when you listen to them. Number 4, Second Sight. This is by an elite French metal band, Adagio. It came out in 2001 on their very first album, Sanctus Ignis. According to Wikipedia, Adagio's style has changed over the years, but in this first album, the appeal is virtuosic guitar abilities and long, complicated, progressive song structures. It's one of those bands that has 3-minute-long instrumental sections. But the most immersive aspects of their fantasy world are the lyrics and the way they are sung. This is another band with above-average command of the English language. I would have thought that all of the lyrics would be written by one person, but while the vocalist wrote most of them, a few songs were written by a guy who is not even a band member, including this song, Second Sight. That's interesting. By the way, the vocalist's name is David Reedman. What the heck kind of French dude is named David Reedman? The world I get transported to when listening to this song is the one in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. You know that one town where this guy is standing around outside saying that the apocalypse is coming? It reminds me of that. There are lyrical deliveries in this song that are like voice actor in a AAA budget anime level convincing, even though it's in a song. When he says, "For these ominous signs are bound to plague me," he genuinely sounds like a disgruntled oracle. And he's disgruntled because he kept on telling people this shit was gonna happen and nobody would believe his prophesying ass. Number 3, Sorrow Throughout the Nine Worlds. I bet all these really old albums by famous bands are making me look even older than I really am. This is the very first song on their very first album of the same name. It came out in 1996. It's by Amon Amarth. They may be the most famous death metal band in the world. This is my favorite song by them because it's like the fast-paced drama of the gods. Every song by Amon Amarth is pure Norse mythology. It's what they do. This song has a lot of name drops. It's about that time when Loki kills Hodor, and he does it in front of everybody. Is he not worried about being caught? The song said they were in a hall full of Aesir. The vocalist Johan Hegg has the best death metal voice ever. Amon Amarth compositions are very straightforward. Despite being death metal, there are a lot of long, flowing guitar melodies. They just tremolo-picked them with machine gun double bass drums. It's such a winning formula. Number 2, The Bard's Song. This one is not actually a metal song, but it is by a metal band. Blind Guardian, German fantasy heavy metal. Their most common song topic is straight up Lord of the Rings. They also do songs inspired by other popular fantasy books. If those are your kind of lyrics, Blind Guardian is your band. The Bard Song is from their 4th album, Somewhere Far Beyond. It came out in 1992. It's an excellent album. Their style becomes more symphonic and less orthodox heavy metal starting from their next album. If you want to hear the best of what old school Blind Guardian has to offer, this is the best studio album for that. But I would say an even better choice is their Tokyo live concert album called Tokyo Tales. It isn't listed in their discography on Wikipedia, but on Japanese Wikipedia, it says it came out in 1993. And it was the band's very first live album. What they did with this live album is freaking ingenious. Blind Guardian songs have a lot of sing-along value. They accomplished this with catchy choruses sung by a group of vocalists. Tokyo Tales capitalizes on this to an insane degree by mixing the album so that the sound of the audience is audible whenever a chorus part comes up. In other words, it's like they recorded an album with thousands of backup singers. The album contains most of their most popular songs from their first 4 albums. So if you want a best of old school Blind Guardian album, listen to Tokyo Tales. Getting back to the Bard song, this particular song is an acoustic song, and it seriously sounds like an RPG party singing at camp, just like on the album cover. The singer and leader of the band, Hansi Kirsch, has the most medieval bard-like voice you have ever heard. So much so that every time I play Baldur's Gate, I make a bard and name him Hansi. And I want more than anything to have an actual photo of Hansi for my character portrait. His voice isn't as high as the other melodic singers on this list, and that, combined with his German accent and the timbre of his voice, makes him sound as unique as root beer. How do you describe the taste of root beer? You can't say it tastes like such and such, because root beer is the only thing that tastes like root beer. And Hansi is the only person who sounds like Hansi. Have a listen to the Bard song and tell me you weren't in the RPG.
When hours have gone by, I close my eyes. In a world far away, we may meet again. But now hear my song about the dawn of the night. Let's sing the bard song. Tomorrow will take us away, far from home. The bard songs will remind.
Number 1, The Sorcerer's Pledge. Are you immersed already just by the title? This song is from 1986. The genre is doom metal. Don't ask me what kind of metal that is. It's on the album Epicus Doomicus Metallicus by the Swedish metal band Candlemass. This song, like a gothic romance, has the age of the recording helping add to the immersion. It's about a sorcerer who drank virgin blood, cast a spell, and went to sleep for 1,000 years. When he wakes up, his magic will be obscenely powerful, and he will rule the world. All of the guitar riffs on this album are quite simple and easy to understand. The singer is top-notch. He starts off the song singing, "Time, oh, ha-ha." He did not have to put that ha-ha, but he did. Check out some Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, and that will finish off this list. I hope you heard something here that piqued your interest. If you have questions or want more recommendations for songs by these bands, feel free to ask. See you in the comment section.
Time, oh, time stands still in this ancient halls. Only the castle itself can tell what it keeps. Dark are the secrets between these walls, hidden in shadows of death, while the sorcerer sleeps.
1,000 years of midnight, the sunrise is gone.